even though he's saying that he's not going to play, which he probably won't if they don't give him a long-term deal. And I 100% agree with that. Like Le'Veon did it and preserved his body, and he did not receive the compensation that he felt like he deserved. So he decided to go ahead and sit out the season, and we'll see how that pays off for him. But yeah, DeMarcus Lawrence over the last 2 seasons has have 25 sacks. So, and 34 for his career, but over the last 2 seasons, 25 sacks. Last year, 10.5. The year before that, 14.5. So this gives Dallas a little bit extra time there to try to work out a deal. Typically, like the franchise tag deadline, usually, I forget the exact date, but just gives them some time to work out a long-term contract and try to keep him there for the long run. So yeah, we'll see how that plays out.
Another little side note for Dallas Cowboys fans: David Irving, the DL, was smoking weed on his Instagram Live last night, discussing why he's done with football. I didn't get to watch the full video, but yeah, it sounds like they did just lose another defensive lineman. So,
hey, shout out to the Cowboys.
Just throwing that little thing in there for the Cowboys fans that's listening.
Yeah,
I like to appease everybody.
I respect it. Fucking Case Keenum. Really brought that up. Jadeveon Clowney, that's another one. Houston, you got to, like I said, Jadeveon over the last couple of seasons really turned it on. And he's one of those players where he may not be getting like 12, 15 sacks a season, but his impact is felt. He's an elite pass rusher. Don't let that fool you guys. So yeah, them keeping that tandem together between him and JJ Watt, not too surprised on that one there. D Ford, another one. Kansas City got some aging pass rushers there. They actually, it was reported in the media. I've been seeing it on Twitter and social media and the news period that Justin Houston might be on the trading block. So that would have been huge, as KC would have lost literally their 2 best pass rushers back to back. Like if they would have traded Houston, even though they would have got they probably will get draft compensation if they do, and then also lose D4 for nothing. So yep, kind of seen that one coming. Grady Jarrett. Talk about a little bit about Ed. That's your team, Atlanta Falcons. Is he? First of all, are you happy with the move that the Falcons decided to place the franchise tag on him to try to work out a long-term deal?
No, the bastard should have gave him his money, whatever the fuck he wanted. Well, not what he wanted. He want Aaron Donald money. He ain't there. He nice, but he ain't there. But if we lose him, Jesus, our defensive line is done. I think he led the defensive line in sacks this year. I think he led the defensive line in tackles for loss this year. And the dude's fantastic, man. Ever since that Super Bowl game with them 2 or 3 sacks on Brady, man, his career has really been on the up and up. And he's not even. I think he's not even.
He's 25 years old.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's not even 26.
He'll be 26 at the start of the season.
I mean, he's worth the money. I understand the hesitation because of our cap space this year. I think we only started the off season with like $29 million, and I know if they gave him, a deal that he wanted, we'd only have I think 4 or 5 left over, which wouldn't really help us out as far as rebuilding the team. So I get it for a team standpoint. I'm just mad as a fan to not lock up a legitimate cornerstone of our defense. So I'm really hoping they can get that done after free agency. Once they figure out, all right, we got all our pieces where we can put them. All right, let's work this out.
Yeah. And then that's the thing. I think that's the reason why the franchise tag was put in place in general in the NFL. But by the way, well, let me not go off on a tangent just yet. So to touch base on what you just said, the Falcons as an organization, it's a smart move. You just can't let young talent like that who's getting ready to enter their prime just walk away. So you tag them and then you try to work it out. It gives teams that extra time to try to work out a deal. And then it's not like with the franchise tag, for those who don't know how it works, basically how it works is that the franchise tag pays the player that was tagged the average lump sum of the top 5 paid players at that position. Mm-hmm. So basically, like for instance, Grady Jarrett, he's going to be making, I think the D line was like what, 15 or 14 million or something like that. So they take the top 5 salaries at the defensive tackle position and they average it out, and then that is what the tag player at that position gets paid. So it's not chump change. They're not getting paid pennies. It's just that there's no security there. So if a player plays on a franchise tag and then gets hurt, that can cost them a lot of money in the long run. So as me looking at it, if I'm looking at it just from the perspective of the franchise tag, I guess it's bullshit for these players. If I'm looking at it as pro player, it's fucking bullshit. Because, these players, these franchises can tag these players for 1 year, pay them, a certain amount of money. And then, if a player gets hurt while playing on it, they're kind of SOL on that one there. But if you're looking at it from the franchise thing, it's fucking phenomenal. Like, you get to keep a player for at least 1 extra year there. You control all of their draft rights or their signing rights and everything like that. So, but, it's the name of the game, man. CJ Mosley, my boy, Baltimore Ravens linebacker, the guy who saved our season. They saying that he didn't get tagged. They're saying that they want to try to re-sign him. And yeah, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if a team like I could see maybe like the Indianapolis Colts throwing a boatload of money at him. I can see the Cleveland Browns, who just released Jamie Collins. I can see them making a move for him. He wants to be at least the second highest paid middle linebacker behind Luke Kuechly, which he's getting paid about $14 million a season. And I love CJ Mosley, and I hope the Baltimore Ravens do decide to go ahead and give him what he deserves, man. But I understand why they didn't tag him from a financial standpoint. The linebacker position is just linebackers in general. That's including the outside linebackers who are typically pass rushers in 3-4 defenses. And it would have been starting off around like $15 million. So he would have been that's where negotiations would have started. Like, okay, well, y'all tagged me, so like I want $15 million plus from this day forward. So I get why they didn't. But shit, he might get close to that in free agency. So we'll see about that one there.
Yeah.
All right. I do want to talk about a couple of other key free agents and where you think they might go. Me and my man Nick Scapolato, we did a episode a couple of weeks ago and, did a little preview of free agency. So just to get your thoughts on them. So first of all, I got this list from NFLTradeRumors.com. Shout out to those guys over there, guys and girls. So Trey Flowers, he didn't get tagged, defensive end for the New England Patriots. He's listed as number 2 on their list. Where do you think Trey Flowers, who had a really good Super Bowl, by the way, and a very underrated player, but where do you think he would go? What would be a good fit for a team for him, in your opinion?
A good fit?
Yeah, who do you think would sign him?
Not the Patriots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Patriots, I don't think he's going back there.
No. And it's only because they rotate in and out players so frequently, it's ridiculous. I don't know, probably it'd probably be something strange like Cleveland or probably the Packers. Any team can really use a defensive end that can put pressure on a quarterback. I mean, honestly, we could use them, but in Atlanta, but I know we ain't gonna pay for them. Whoever's got, I don't know how cap space is looking like for all the teams and stuff, so I'm not too sure how everyone's looking.
So
Giants will probably be a good one. I think the Giants will actually be a good team for them.
All right, so basically what I'm basing this off of is like projected cap space. So I know I'm gonna bring up the list and go over it with you in a little bit. So I know for projected cap space, like Indy has like over 100 million. Cleveland is like 2 or 3. Oakland is up there. So there's a few teams. So Cap space would be number one. You got to have the money available to sign these guys. You got to pay these guys. And two will be kind of fit and need. And when I was thinking about it, I kind of thought like two teams jumped to my mind. Indianapolis could use a pass rusher. They run a 4-3 defense, and they can put him at defensive end and let him go and get the quarterback. And then also he can move inside and on those third and long. So if you want to try to get another pass rusher in there, he can play 3 technique in those situations. And another team will probably be Oakland, who traded away their pass rusher to the Chicago Bears and Khalil Mack. And, it showed last year that they couldn't generate pressure at all on quarterbacks. They had like 11 sacks in the season from the whole team. So, I could see a move like that where, they pay him a boatload of money and try to get him in there. Okay. Yeah, so that'll be my list there. Again, look out for Indy and then look out for Oakland. Le'Veon Bell, he sat out the whole season last year. And it was reported that he turned down a pretty big contract that was going to give him about $15 million a year. And he said that he feels like he's worth more than that. He's not just a running back. He literally has over like 400 touches a season running and catching the ball. But he is an injury-prone player. So I understand as a franchise why Pittsburgh didn't want to pay him more money than he actually deserves. What do you think is a good fit for him? Where do you think he will wind up going? And also, side note, the Jets are considered the favorites to sign him. Thoughts on Le'Veon?
If I have a fantasy thing here, a fantasy theory. Is that Chicago finds a way to trade Howard to Pittsburgh, and then they sign Le'Veon Bell. So I like to see that happen. I don't care where they trade him to, but I think that would be just icing on the cake that they trade Jordan Howard to Pittsburgh, and then they end up getting him in free agency. Le'Veon Bell to Chicago. I don't know what it is about that. I would just love it. I feel like he would be perfect for Trubisky. I really do.
Okay, so that's fantasy. Now let's bring it back to reality.
Damn, you don't think that can happen?
Nah,
come on, man.
Nah.
My second pick will probably be. Oh, you know what? Okay, I'll run with it. San Fran.
That'd be interesting.
Very interesting.
They got the quarterback, Jimmy. Even though, we've seen a little bit out of Garoppolo, but we don't know if he's truly a franchise quarterback. But you got to give him the weapons to compete. You gave him that big money. You gave him that contract, so that's your guy. Mm-hmm. That'd be interesting. I like that one, actually. I think the Jets is pretty much. I honestly think it's like a foregone conclusion. I'm not sure though if the Kansas City Chiefs defensive lineman Chris Jones, he posted a video on Twitter and Instagram with him and Le'Veon Bell, and basically it was kind of like insinuating that Le'Veon is going to be signing with the Chiefs, which honestly I just think they were just kind of like chilling and fucking around and having a good time.
Yeah.
So I don't see that one happening. Even though the Chiefs did lose or cut Kareem Hunt, they could use it. Could you imagine if the Chiefs got that dude, that offense, fucking him, Patrick Mahomes, and then fucking Tyreek Hill?
That'd be pretty nice.
Man, that offense would be crazy.
That'd be nice. That'd be real nice.
But I don't see that one going. But yeah, to me, it's like almost a conclusion. I think he's going to New York. So
that's your fantasy pick?
Yeah, okay, yeah, I like that. Yeah, that'd be my fantasy pick. And then New York is pretty much my reality pick. Like, New York has a cap space. They have a need at running back. Running back and tight end are literally quarterback's two best friends. So they have a young quarterback there, and I think he'll benefit Le'Veon greatly. Somebody reliable target out of the backfield, and then also one of the best. His running style is amazing to me, man. Like, his patience at the line, And then when he finds a hole, he's able to explode